If you're a jewelry brand and you want to get more customers, then in this video, I'm going to talk about the difference between a static native ad and a static branded ad, such as this. And I'm going to talk about the different benefits of each and how a very simple strategy you can use to be able to get more customers. So let's get into it. So in this ad, the reason why we call this native organic looking static ads is because it takes a lot of the elements that you see on a day-to-day basis and run it as Facebook ad. That's it. So simply put, you see a street a lot of the time. Every day, I suppose. There is a street there. There is a photo of a hand, and that photo of a hand doesn't really look like if it was taken in a studio. It really looks like it was taken by a cell phone, and they were crossing the street after buying the jewelry, and they just took a photo. But the reality is that a lot of static native ads right now are made by AI, and you wouldn't even notice. And vast majority of people, in fact, all the people on Facebook that are actually seen your Facebook ads, do not know that these are made by AI. The reason we make it with AI and not literally taking photos with our cell phone and uploading them to Facebook ads is that we can make an enormous amount of these static ads, of these native ads, very, very quickly. That's why, because the name of the game for Facebook ads is volume. So we can make these sort of ads pretty quickly. So let's break this down. We have we have an enormous pack of items that we are advertising. There are different ways you can advertise this. I've talked about this in some other videos, but if you want one static ad that advertises everything, this is a pretty good way of doing it because it instantly shows you that this is a pack collection. All right. So we have here in the underneath of the showcasing, basically, we have the jewelry brand that girls don't want to share with other girls, right? Because they want to keep the secret to themselves. So can this be displayed in a better fashion? 100%. For example, instead of Ana Luisa, in all honestly, I wouldn't have put Ana Luisa, the name of the jewelry brand. I would have just put an offer here. That's the truth. I would have just taken this out. Here you can clearly see that this is a quote. I would just take out the Marie Claire quote and I would just put the jewelry brand fashion girls want to gatekeep. However, this is a static ad that will have low CPMs, which is cost per mil or cost per thousand. The amount of money that it will cost you to display this ad to 1,000 people will be very low in compared to branded ads. Another thing is that it will have a high click-through rate if it has an offer. If it has a good offer, you have to have a good offer. You can display the offer also beneath the creative, which is fine. It's just that if it has a good offer, it will have a high click-through rate. And one thing that I want to talk about for the branded ad is that this has a higher likelihood of converting high ticket. At least that's what I see. So this ad is very good at showing to a lot of people. And this ad is very good, this type of ad at least, is very good at converting a lot of people. No, actually converting the people, right? But you have to bring the people in. So what we normally do is this sort of funnel method or top of funnel, bottom of funnel method. So let me just show you how that works. I'll draw it out for you. So let's say this is the funnel. For those of you who don't know what a funnel is, I'll just explain it to you. So we have top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel. So this is top of funnel or tofu. This is middle of funnel or mofu. And this is bottom of funnel, bofu, right? Mofu, bofu, tofu, right? The thing is that the top of funnel are all the people that don't have a serious problem to solve right now. They don't even know that they want a jewelry item. They don't even know. They are unaware. Middle of funnel are normally either solution aware or problem aware. So problem aware is they know that they have to buy a gift for someone. They have to buy an engagement ring for someone. They have to buy a wedding ring for themselves. Remember, there's a difference between engagement ring and wedding ring. There's a difference. Most jewelry brand owners think that they are the same. They're not the same, all right? You can advertise differently for each of them and actually have two products and sell more, all right? Just in case, right? But then we have the problem aware, the unaware, and then we have the solution aware also that sits in the middle of funnel. And the solution aware normally touch base with the bottom of funnel, but I would consider it still middle of funnel. At least that's how I feel it has worked for 3 years running ads. I feel that solution aware people are normally middle of funnel. They're not quite bottom of funnel yet. Solution aware is that they know that to buy what gift they will buy. They know that it's a jewelry piece. And then bottom of funnel is already product aware or most aware, right? So product aware and most aware are already people that either know your brand, know what they want to buy, and know that you have an offer, whatever. And the only thing you have to do is display an offer to them. That's it. That's all you have to do. And then you will convert. And you have to just keep doing that. Now, the thing is that a lot of jewelry brands just advertise to bottom of funnel, which means that they will get a lot of sales. You'll get a lot of sales very quickly, but it will dry up also very quickly. And then after it dries up, you will keep spending more money because that's what has worked until now, but your margins will just compress, simply put. And then you get stuck, and then you will say Facebook ads don't work. But the reality is that you just have to advertise more on the top of funnel so that more eyeballs can see you and go through this funnel and go from unaware to solution aware to most aware, right? Or problem aware to most aware. Like, you have to take a person through this funnel. And the only way that you have people here in the bottom of funnel to convert is if you put money on the top of funnel. That's it. That's the only way. Because the minute you put them in the top of funnel, you can retarget them, which is the method I use, the secret method I use. So let me show you the secret method that I use. I run a bunch of these ads, top of funnel, right? Tofu. And then I run a bunch of these ads, bottom of funnel. Bofu. That's the secret method. All right. So now I do it a little bit different than this. So for example, here it says like Brilliant Earth, go even bolder. I never put this stuff. Never once in my life have I ever to test. I have, but I have to get customers already. I know what works. To get customers, I never run these sort of copy because it's just not how I do it. I just seen that when you run a very compelling copy, then your ads work better. Work better just means get you more customers. That's it. That's why we are running Facebook ads, right? So to recap, Bofu, ads that look like you have taken them with your cell phone. Bofu, ads that look like very, very high-end, and it's easy to convert them for high-ticket jewelry items. Now, if you're not selling high-ticket jewelry items, all day, all long, forget about this. But if you're selling high-ticket items, I think it will be not always, but sometimes it's a little bit difficult to convert these through a website. Now, if you're not converting people through a website, then these all day long, right? If you're a brick and mortar shop, if you have setters, if you if you convert people through Instagram, through DMs, to whatever, the vast majority of jewelry brands are brick and mortar. Even D2C brands are brick and mortar. If you have a website and you convert people through website, it's very difficult to show this type of ad and then in your website have a price of like $22,000 an item. I've just seen that people look at the background, look at the copy and all of this stuff, and they have an expectation of this is going to be affordable, or this is going to be affordable to me right now. And they have that sort of expectations. On the other hand, when you have already taken them throughout the funnel and actually shown them like, hey, this is exactly what you want. You have spoken to them for this item several different times and several different angles to take them farther down the funnel. They convert well with these. that are already high end. And when they click this ad and they go to your website or they go to your DMs or whatever, their expectations have reset. And they understand now that this is very important for them. And this will just solve a problem. If they have some loved one that they want to give this item to, or they just want to buy it for themselves and it's important for them, then they will be more likely to convert higher ticket. Remember, this is high ticket with these sort of ads, not with these sort of ads. It's more difficult, which means you're going to have a lower conversion rate. You're going to have a higher CPM, a higher click-through rate, a lower conversion rate. Conversion rate is when a lead becomes a customer, that's a conversion rate, right? How many leads become customers? Percentage, right? So that's it. If you want to learn how to make both of these static ads to be able to actually feed your funnel and get unstuck from your compressing ROAS and get more customers, then click the link in the description of this video and I will help you do exactly that within 90 days, or you don't pay me ever again and I still work with you until you are able to 2x and 3x your jewelry sales.